It's Sunday afternoon. You need to talk about money with your partner. You've been putting it off for 2 weeks. They're on the couch. You're in the kitchen. Your stomach is tight because you know how this goes. Last time you tried this, it turned into a fight. Someone said you always spend too much. Someone said you never let me buy anything. Someone ended up crying. Someone slept on the couch. And nothing changed. You're still stressed about money. You're still not on the same page. And you still don't know how to talk about it without it blowing up. If that sounds familiar, if money is the hardest thing to talk about in your relationship, this video is for you. I'm going to give you the exact script to start this conversation, the questions to ask, the phrases to avoid, and how to turn money stress into money teamwork. Subscribe if money conversations feel impossible with your partner. My name is Sarah, and I need to be honest with you. Money almost destroyed my relationship. Not because we didn't have enough, not because one of us was reckless, but because we couldn't talk about it without fighting. Every conversation turned into a power struggle. We loved each other, but money made us enemies. And here's what I learned. The problem wasn't the money. The problem was that nobody ever taught us how to talk about money. Not our parents, not school, nobody. So we did what most couples do. We avoided it until we couldn't anymore. And then we fought about it. And then we avoided it again. It took us years to figure out how to do this right. But once we learned, everything changed. Not just our finances, our entire relationship. Let me show you what we learned. First, you need to understand why money talks turn into fights. Because if you don't understand the why, you'll keep making the same mistakes. Research from the Institute for Divorce Financial Analysts shows that 41% of divorced couples cite money as a primary reason for divorce. Not the only reason, but a major factor. Now, you might think that's because they didn't have enough money, but that's not it. Plenty of wealthy couples divorce over money. Plenty of couples with modest incomes stay together and build something beautiful. The issue isn't the amount of money, it's what money represents in the relationship. Money is never just money. Money is control, security, freedom, love, respect, fear, power. When you fight about money, you're rarely fighting about the actual dollars. You're fighting about what those dollars mean to each of you. One partner spends $200 at Target. The other partner sees the transaction and feels scared. Not because $200 is going to bankrupt you, but because it represents a loss of control, a lack of security, a partner who doesn't care about the future. The person who spent $200, they feel attacked. They worked hard. They deserve to buy things. They're being treated like a child who can't be trusted. They feel disrespected. Same transaction. Two completely different emotional experiences. And here's what happened. One partner says, "Why did you spend $200 at Target without asking me?" The other partner hears, "You're irresponsible and I'm the responsible one and I have to parent you." That's not what was said, but that's what was heard. And now you're fighting because you're solving different problems. One partner is trying to solve for security. The other partner is trying to solve for autonomy. And neither of you is hearing what the other person actually needs. You can't solve a communication problem with a budget spreadsheet. You have to solve the communication problem first. Then the budget becomes easy. So let's talk about the 5 mistakes that turn money conversations into fights. Because once you know what not to do, the path forward becomes clearer. Mistake number 1, starting with blame. Why did you spend money on this? Why can't you just save? Why do you always do this? The moment you start with, "Why did you?" your partner's brain goes into defensive mode. They're not hearing, "I'm worried about our financial future." They're hearing, "You're irresponsible and I'm judging you." And once someone feels judged, they shut down or attack back. The conversation is over before it starts. Mistake number 2, ambushing. Your partner walks in the door after a long day. They're tired, they're hungry, they haven't even taken their shoes off. And you hit them with, "We need to talk about your spending." Or you bring it up during a commercial break. Or right before bed. Or in the car on the way to see their parents. Timing matters. When you ambush someone with a heavy topic, they feel trapped. They don't have the emotional bandwidth to engage. So they either shut down or fight back. Mistake number 3, using absolutes. You always overspend. You never think about our future. You constantly ignore our budget. Always, never, constantly. These words are rarely true and always inflammatory. Your partner isn't thinking about the pattern you're describing. They're thinking about the one time they saved money and you didn't notice. Now you're fighting about the word always instead of solving the actual problem. Mistake number 4, making it about character instead of behavior. You're bad with money. You don't care about us. You're selfish. When you attack someone's character, you're not giving them a way to change. Behavior can change. Character feels fixed. So when you say you're bad with money, your partner hears I'm a bad person and there's nothing I can do about it. That's not a conversation. That's relationship damage. Mistake number 5, having the talk without a plan. You sit down to talk about money. You both vent about stress and fear and frustration, and then you just stop. No clear next steps, no agreement, no plan. Your partner feels like you just wanted to make them feel bad. You feel like nothing is going to change. Both of you walk away more hopeless than before. So how do you do this right? Let me give you the framework that actually works. It starts before you even have the conversation. With the ask, don't ambush your partner. Schedule the conversation. Here's the script. Hey, I want to talk about our money situation. Not right now, but can we set aside 30 minutes this weekend? Maybe Sunday morning over coffee? Just to get on the same page. No pressure, no blame. Just us figuring this out together. That's it. You're not springing it on them. You're giving them time to prepare emotionally. You're treating them with respect, and you're setting expectations. 30 minutes. Number blame. Just us. Now, when you pick the timing, this matters. Pick a time when you're both rested, both fed, not stressed about work or family or other obligations. Sunday morning is great for a lot of couples. You've slept in a bit, you've had coffee, the day is open. Friday night after a long work week? Terrible idea. And pick a neutral location. Kitchen table is good. Bedroom feels like you're being sent to the principal's office. Couch is too casual, feels like an afterthought. Okay, the day arrives. You're sitting down together. Here's how you open. The first 60 seconds determine whether this conversation succeeds or fails. So you need to start with safety. Here's the script. Thank you for doing this with me. I know money is hard to talk about. It is for me too. I want to start by saying I'm not here to blame you or criticize. I'm here because I love you, and I want us to build something together. Can we just be honest about where we are and figure out next steps as a team? Read that again. Every word is intentional. Thank you for doing this with me. You're acknowledging that this takes emotional energy. You're expressing gratitude. I know money is hard to talk about. It is for me too. You're normalizing the discomfort. You're showing vulnerability. I'm not here to blame you or criticize. You're explicitly removing the fear. You're creating safety. I want us to build something together. You're establishing that this is a partnership, not me versus you, us versus the problem. Can we just be honest and figure out next steps as a team? You're asking permission. You're framing this as collaboration. After you say this, pause, check in. Say something like, I'm nervous about this conversation. Are you? Let them talk. Let them express their fear or hesitation. Validate it. That makes sense. I feel that too. And then create an escape hatch. Say this. If at any point this feels like blame, tell me and we'll pause. Deal? Now you've established safety. Your partner knows they can stop the conversation if it goes sideways. That paradoxically makes them more willing to engage. Okay, now you're ready for step 1. State the facts, not your feelings yet, not your opinions. Just objective facts. Here's the script. Here's what I know. We make $X combined. We have $Y in the bank. We have $Z in debt. We spend about $A per month. After bills, we have about $B left. Does that match what you see? You're presenting numbers. You're asking for agreement on reality. You're not editorializing. Don't say, we only have $B left, which is terrible. Don't say, we spend way too much on $A. Just state facts. Why? Because the moment you editorialize, your partner hears judgment. You want to establish a shared reality first. Once you both agree on the facts, you can talk about feelings. So you say the numbers, and then you genuinely ask, does that match what you see? Maybe your partner has a different number. Maybe they know about an expense you forgot. Listen, get to a shared understanding. Now you move to step 2. Share your feelings using I statements. Here's the script. Here's how I feel. I feel stressed when I see our account get low. I feel scared we don't have a buffer. I feel like I'm failing because we make decent money, but I can't figure out where it goes. Those are my feelings. They're not about you. They're about the situation. How do you feel about our money situation? Every sentence starts with, I feel. Not you make me feel. Not you did this, I feel. And you name the emotion. Stressed, scared, failing. You're being vulnerable. You're not blaming. You're sharing your internal experience. And then, critically, you say, these are my feelings. They're not about you. They're about the situation. You're separating your partner from the problem. The problem is external. You're both on the same side, dealing with it together. And then you invite them to share. How do you feel? Now, here's the hard part. You have to listen. You have to actually hear what they say without interrupting, without defending, without problem solving yet. They might say, I feel controlled. I feel like I can't spend anything without you judging me. I feel like you don't trust me. Your instinct will be to defend, but I'm not controlling you. But I do trust you. Don't. Just listen. Say, that makes sense. Or, I hear you. Or, thank you for telling me. You're not agreeing or disagreeing. You're just acknowledging that they have feelings and those feelings are valid. This is the hardest part for most couples. Because when your partner says something that feels like an accusation, every fiber of your being wants to defend yourself. But if you defend, the conversation is over. If you listen, the conversation deepens. So you listen, you validate, and then you move to step 3. Identify a shared goal. Here's the script. What do we both want? Not what I want or what you want. What do we want? You're looking for common ground. And I promise you there's always common ground. Even if you disagree on tactics, you agree on the destination. Maybe the shared goal is, we want to stop stressing about money. Or, we want to save for a house. Or, we want to stop fighting about this. Or, we want to feel secure. Find the thing you both want. Say it out loud. Write it down. This shared goal becomes your North Star. Every decision, every conversation, every budget choice gets measured against it. Are we moving toward what we both want or away from it? Now you're ready for step 4. Ask the problem-solving question. Here's the script. Okay, we both want... You're looking for systemic issues, not personal failures. The answer isn't you're stopping us by spending too much. That's blame. The answer is we don't have a budget. Or we don't have a plan. Or our fixed costs are too high. Or we don't talk about money before making decisions. Those are problems you can solve together. You're not solving for each other's character flaws. You're solving for system failures. Write down the obstacles, all of them. Don't filter yet. Just get everything on the table. Now you move to step 5. Brainstorm together. Here's the script. Let's brainstorm. No idea is stupid. No judgment. Just throw out ideas for how we could move toward. Share goal. I'll go first. And then you offer an idea. Could we track our spending for 2 weeks just to see where it goes? Could we set up separate fund money accounts? Could we try a budget app? Then you ask, what ideas do you have? And your partner offers ideas. Maybe they're good ideas. Maybe they're not realistic. Doesn't matter yet. You're just collecting options. Write everything down. Don't commit to anything. Don't shoot down anything. Just brainstorm. This process does something powerful. It shifts you from opponents to collaborators. You're both contributing. You're both problem solving. Now, step 6. Choose one action. Here's the script. Out of all these ideas, which one could we try this month? Just one. Something small. What feels doable to both of us? You're not overhauling your entire financial life today. You're not committing to perfection. You're picking one small thing you can both agree to try. Maybe it's, let's both track what we spend for 1 week and compare notes next Sunday. Or, let's set up one savings account and each put $50 in it this month. Or, let's agree to talk before making any purchase over $100. Pick the easiest thing. The thing with the lowest barrier to entry. Because the goal is not to solve everything. The goal is to build trust through a small win. And then you set a check-in. Let's talk about this again next Sunday. 15 minutes. See how it went. Now you close. And this matters. Here's the script. Thank you for doing this with me. I know it wasn't easy. I love you. We're going to figure this out. You end on connection, not logistics, not stress. Connection. Because the goal of the money talk isn't just to solve the money problem. It's to strengthen the relationship while you solve the money problem. Okay, what happens when this goes sideways? Because even with the best intentions, sometimes conversations derail. Here's your emergency de-escalation script. If your partner gets defensive, pause immediately. Say this: hey, I feel like we're starting to blame each other. That's not what I want. Can we take a breath? You're naming what's happening without blaming. You're inviting a reset. If you're getting overwhelmed or emotional, say this: I need a 5-minute break. I'm feeling overwhelmed. Can we pause and come back? You're not abandoning the conversation. You're managing your emotions so you can stay productive. If it's turning into a fight, say this: this isn't working right now. I love you, and I want to solve this, but let's come back to it tomorrow when we're both calmer. Is that okay? You're acknowledging failure without giving up. You're protecting the relationship while staying committed to solving the problem. Never storm off. Always narrate what you're doing and why. I'm taking a break because I care about this conversation working, not because I'm done with you. And return to it within 24 to 48 hours. Don't let days or weeks pass. Come back to it while it's still fresh. Now let me address some special cases. If one of you makes significantly more than the other, this creates power dynamics that are hard to navigate. The higher earner might feel entitled to control or resentful that they're supporting the household. The lower earner might feel powerless or guilty or infantilized. Here's the script. Our money is our money. Your income, my income, it all goes to us. We both contribute to this relationship in ways that matter. Can we agree that we have equal say in decisions, regardless of who earned what? You're establishing equality. You're rejecting the idea that income determines value. If one of you is a spender and the other is a saver, you're not going to change each other's wiring, and you shouldn't try. Here's the script. You value enjoying today. I value security for tomorrow. We both need both things. Can we create a system where we save and spend, just with boundaries we both agree on? You're not trying to make your partner become like you. You're trying to build a system that honors both values. And if there's secret spending or hidden debt, this is the hardest conversation of all. If you need to confess something, here's the script. I need to tell you something, and I'm scared. I've been hiding. I'm so sorry. I want to fix this with you. Lead with vulnerability. Lead with accountability. Lead with a commitment to repair. If your partner confesses to you, breathe before reacting. I know your first instinct is anger. That's valid. But if you explode, you shut down all future honesty. Say this: thank you for telling me. I'm hurt and I'm angry and I'm scared, but I'm glad you told me. Let's figure this out together. You're acknowledging your feelings. You're appreciating their honesty. And you're staying committed to partnership. Okay, here are your 3 action steps. Step 1, schedule your first talk this week. Use the ask script I gave you. Pick a date, a time, a location. 30 minutes max for this first conversation. The goal is just to get on the same page about your current reality. Step 2, after your first talk, commit to weekly 15-minute check-ins for the next 30 days. Same time every week, Sunday morning or Friday evening, whatever works. Review what you agreed to do, how it went, what you'll try next week. Keep it short. Keep it regular. This normalizes money conversations. It makes them less scary. Step 3. Once you've done 4 weekly check-ins, graduate to monthly money dates. Once a month, set aside 45 to 60 minutes. Review your full budget, upcoming expenses, progress on your shared goal. And end with something fun. Order takeout. Watch a show together. Go for a walk. Associate money conversations with connection, not conflict. Here's what I want you to understand. Money doesn't have to be the thing you fight about. It can be the thing you build together. The couples I see who win with money aren't the ones who never disagree. They're the ones who learned how to talk about it without destroying each other. My partner and I used to fight about money every single month. Someone would cry. Someone would sleep on the couch. Someone would threaten to leave. Then we learned this framework. We still disagree sometimes. We still have different values around spending. But we don't fight because we're on the same team. And we've built a system for talking through disagreements before they become fights. That's available to you too. But you have to start, and you have to use a framework that actually works. If you're going to try this, if you're going to have the money talk this weekend, using these scripts, hit that like button. Let me know you're committed. Drop a comment and tell me, what's the hardest part of talking about money with your partner? Is it starting the conversation? Is it staying calm? Is it feeling heard? Let me know. We're all figuring this out together. Share this video with your partner. Seriously, send them the link. Say, can we try this? I think it could help. Watch it together if that feels easier. And then schedule the talk this weekend. Use the script. 30 minutes. Come back and tell me how it went. You can do this. It's going to feel awkward the first time. That's normal. But the second time will be easier. And the third time will be easier still. And 6 months from now, you'll wonder why you waited so long to learn how to do this.